Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Anne and today I'm going to be bringing you my indie book recs, and this is going to be video number 3. So this is a cool little fun series that I like to do just to highlight some indie authors and just kind of show you that indie books can be great. So the first one that I want to talk about is the most obsessed I've been with an indie book in quite a while, and it starts with The Sons of Echidna by Athena and Bliss. So this is a story about Lucy, and she is down on her luck. She kind of doesn't have a job, doesn't have a family. She is kind of living with her friend, and she decides that she wants to get out from under her friend's feet and decides that she is going to apply for this nanny position where she's going to be taking care of kids and a bunch of animals. So when she turns up there, she finds out that things are not what they seem, and she may be held against her will. And she has to then take care of the family, but also deal with a lot of mishaps and mayhem that happens within this. I absolutely love this series. It's so fun. It's so quick to read. The fan family in here is absolutely wonderful, and I just have a really good time with this. I read this on KU, and then I decided that I had to own the physical edition because look at this. And I love in here we actually have illustrations throughout. This is a Kiwi author, so I always love supporting Kiwi indies, and I'm very excited that this is one of my favorites of the year. I love the fan family, I love the humor, I love that it feels really cozy in a really nice way, and it just feels like coming home. And on top of that, the second book, the Sirin Sisterhood, which is coming out on this Saturday, the 15th of June, follows on from the ending of this like immediately afterwards, and it's just so fun. And the second one is so full of chaos and drama, and there is so much LGBTQIA plus representation in here, and I love it so much. It's just stunning, and I really want to reread this to annotate it, but I'm kind of scared to annotate it because of my sprite edges. And it is a signed edition too, which is great, so very happy about this one. The next book that I want to talk about is The Broken Lands by Roxy, Leigh. So I read this towards the end of last year and I had a really good time with it, and I'm eagerly awaiting book 2. I know that the author is currently working on a couple of her other projects as well as kind of plotting out this one and figuring out how to make book 2 even better. So this is about this is living in a world where the Fae control everything. Riley's older brother has gone missing, and she must bite her tongue and move to the Fae city to find out what has happened to her brother. As she does, as she moves to the Fae city, this power awakens inside of her that she can't control, and she has to try and figure out how to tame it with the help of her new friends and 3 love interests. And I really enjoyed this one. The story is really unique and very different from a Fae story that I've read before, which I thought was really cool. I really like the fan family aspect. I really like seeing the world that we're in. It's very luscious and great, and there's just so much happening within this. We follow our main character as Riley, as she is learning all about this world too, so it doesn't feel like it's info dumpy. I really like Riley as a main character. She's really strong, independent, and she's taking matters into her own hands. She's like, okay, if you're not going to help me, I'm going to go figure out what happened to my brother, and you're not going to stop me. I really like the 3 love interests in here too. We kind of see her build these relationships with them throughout, and yeah, it's just a really fun time, and I'm very excited for book 2. It's a really solid debut novel from this author, and I'm very glad that I got to read this. And yeah, I think it is definitely a very solid book if you're looking for a new Fae fantasy academy sort of book, and this one is definitely for you. The next one that I want to talk about is Song of the Deep by C.H. Lynn and A Voice in the Tower by her too. So this is book 1 and book 2 in the Tales of Old series. I can't remember, but in book 1 this is a Little Mermaid retelling. So we're following Lydia and Derek. They have been put into a arranged marriage. So when Derek comes to take her back to his kingdom. Their ship sinks and Lady Lydia drowns, and Derek then has to go on this mission to save Lydia, because he finds out that the stories of mermaids and sirens are actually true. And I just had a really good time with this. This is a very short novella, so it's very quick to read. You read it in like an hour or two. It's really fun. I really like how the author uses the original story, but also makes the story her own too. I really liked Lydia. I love Derek as a character. He's a really great character. He's so strong and independent, and there's just so much going on with him where he knows that this arranged marriage isn't something that he wants, but he's willing to do it for him, his family and his kingdom. But he also really tries to make Lydia feel comfortable and tries to form a sort of friendship with her, which I really enjoyed. And I really like the twist at the end of this one. And A Voice in Our Tower is following on from that book. There is a few different characters in this one, so we're following Riva and Charles and their relationship. So this is sort of a Rapunzel retelling, which I had a great time with. I just recently read this and I had so much fun. It was so action-packed. I really liked Riva and Charles as characters and following them, and I really did like seeing some of the characters from book one in book two. So for example, Derek. And yeah, I just had a really fun time with this series, and I'm so excited that maybe she might continue with the series because it is so fun, and I just really like the twists that she puts on everything. It's just really great, and I definitely recommend them as a little novella for you to get through. Then we have a Waysider by KJ Sutton. This is stunning. I love this book. I recently read it as an ARC, and I'm so thankful that I got an ARC for this. So basically the tagline for this was Stranger Things meets Ghostbusters with a little bit of Silence of the Lambs, and that is exactly what this book is in a nutshell. So we're following Cassandra. So we're following 20-year-old Cass, and when she gets pulled out of the Hudson River, she is dead for 4 minutes. But when she wakes up, she finds out that she can actually see ghosts. So she gets this invitation to this academy where she is going to learn how to control her powers. And she, while also trying to learn about her powers and being a voyant, she also has to figure out how to survive because things are happening that are quite strange. And I loved this book. It is so action-packed. It's really eerie. You kind of feel uncomfortable with this. You're not sure what's going to happen. Like immediately when I start reading it, I was like, okay, something bad's gonna happen right now. The ghosts are creepy, and I really love the Silence of the Lambs sort of inspiration that we get in here, because right at the beginning of the story, Cass is going into an asylum where she's going to meet the serial killer, and he is like playing with her and trying to get out information about her. In very early on in this book, like there is such heartbreak, and I was tearing up, and I've never teared up so quickly in a book. That wasn't like a sequel or a third book in a series, but I felt so connected with these characters already, and I just really loved that she didn't hold any punches with this book, and she just like smacks you with the emotion immediately, like a punch in the face. It felt very emotional. Cass is a really great character to follow. She has a lot of issues that she's trying to deal with on top of learning that she can see ghosts, and I just really enjoyed following her and her story, and kind of the mental health aspect that we also see within this I thought was really great. I really liked the side characters in here too. I really liked Cal, her brother. I really liked the people that she meets at this academy, and it was just a really dark, creepy, eerie, but also really interesting story to follow. And I'm so gutted that this book is just released, so it's another year before I can get book 2, which sucks, but it was so good, and I'm definitely going to be carrying on with this series and following KJ Sutton so closely to see when the sequel is coming out, or if she has an ARC team again, because I really need book 2 like right now. The last book that I want to talk about is Love Letters and Thirst Tonics by Hailey Blackwood. So this is about our main character, Fiona. She is a vampire that lives in this tiny cozy town, and she kind of runs this antiques sort of store. and things start going wrong, and something happens to her store, and the mayor of the town sends this newcomer to come in and help her repair what's happened to the shop. This newcomer is kind of grumpy. He is also a vampire, which I think was really cool, and he's grumpy and he doesn't really want to be there, but he's there to help, and we just watch their relationship flourish. I had a really fun time with this. This is a really fun, cozy fantasy story. It's not really high stakes. There's not a lot happening within this, but I really liked watching Fiala and her love interest start to develop their relationship. We see how they start off as like rivals or enemies, sort of, in a not in a like serious way, but our love interest, he is a little bit rude when he first meets her, so she holds it against him for the time being. And yeah, I just had such a fun time with it. So it was just a really good time. It's a very simple world, so if you're worried, I think this is like the perfect first sort of fantasy if you want to start exploring fantasy if you don't read fantasy. I think it's very simple to fall into. It's a very simple world. There's not a lot of world building, so you don't have to wrap your head around so many things. I think the author did a really good job of having that cozy vibe. You know, you just want to curl up and sit on the couch with a blueberry and lavender cider along with Fiona as she and her friends are having conversations. And yeah, I really enjoyed the spicy scenes. There was 2 spicy scenes in this. One was really fun. I don't really want to talk too much about it, but it was fun. It takes place in a forest, and it kind of explores a little bit of primal play, which I thought was really, really exciting. I haven't really seen that a lot, but it was definitely a fun time and I had such a great time. So that is 5 kind of indie book recommendations that I think you should check out. Make sure you like this video if you liked it. Comment down below if you have any indie recommendations on the same sort of lines as any of these books, and subscribe if you want to see more content from me. Bye!